Hey guys, I wanted to do this video just explaining kind of what's going on with Tripsy. She was pretty much born with a stump. You can kind of see her leg here, and she's holding it down now, which I'm so happy. They think either the mother bit it off, or like while she was born when she meant to bite the umbilical cord, or then the umbilical cord wrapped around it and severed it off. And for, she's 7 months now, for her first 6 months of her life, she was absolutely fine. We did get some x-rays done and we got it checked out, but, it didn't seem to be anything wrong with it. So that was good. And then in the beginning of December, it just started really hurting her. She didn't want to walk or kind of run or anything, and she'd just sit down and cry in pain. So we put her on some painkillers and an anti-inflammatory. We thought maybe she bumped it, and that's what's, causing some internal pain. So she was on that for about 3 weeks, and it didn't really seem to be helping. She would go a couple days where it would be fine, and then it would go back to really hurting. And then about 2 weeks ago, it started getting really bad where she wouldn't move at all. She'd just be lying there, and every time she would try to move, she would cry in pain, and then she'd be retracting her stump so much, I guess kind of to get away from that pain, that it would be retracted so much she would fall over backwards. Basically, she'd flip herself, and even like just to get her to go out to the bathroom, we would have to support her, we'd have to hold her up so she wouldn't fall over, and so she'd actually stand up, just so she could quickly go to the bathroom, and then we picked her up and brought her back in. So that, wasn't helping, so I took her back to the vet. We doubled her pain meds, and we gave it another week, and it didn't help. She was still, crying, and it just broke my heart to see, like, she wouldn't move, and the other dogs, they're like bringing toys to her, trying to get her to play, and she's just lying there. And if she would move, like she'd move to when we fed her dinner, she'd move to where her food was, she'd be crying the whole time and holding her leg back up. So I took her into the vet again, and then this time we went over then to the hospital, the vet hospital, and we had some more x-rays done. This time they had to sedate her because, she was in so much pain she wasn't gonna extend her stump on her own. So obviously more vet bills as well. And then this time when they did x-rays, they found that the tip of her fibula, there's a bone splinter, and it shifted a little bit from the previous x-rays that were done back in September. And now it was very close to the edge of her skin, and because it was a splinter, and I'll put an x-ray here, you can kind of see it was basically poking her internally every time. And then also they noticed there was some fluid at the tip of her stump, so they took a sample of that fluid, they took a fine needle aspirate of it, and they're sending it away, so I'm still waiting to hear back, but it could be also like a bone infection, so she is on antibiotics now for that, and she's still on an anti-inflammatory. We switched it to every evening now, not every morning, and then they switched her to a different sort of pain medication. Now she's on narcotics that she has it to have it 4 times a day, so every 6 hours, but I hate drugging my dog, but it has made such a difference. She's still sometimes in pain in the morning a little bit, but I actually have my dog back. She's a lot happier, she's moving, and even, when I hold her up, she'll extend her stump down, whereas before it was completely tracted up like this. So I am so happy, but we just had an appointment with the surgeon, and basically he was saying, there's 2 options. We could go, he could refer me to a dog physiotherapist, and we could do some physiotherapy and then also some laser treatments. But looking at the x-rays that were just done and kind of comparing them with how they progressed in the past couple months, he's like, even if those, the laser therapy and the physiotherapy helped, she'd still have to be on some sort of pain medication, most probably. It won't heal itself. And then the longer they're on pain medication, then the more, either more dependent, or then the less they're going to respond to it in the future. And she's 7 months. I don't want to have to drug my dog for the rest of her life. So then he said the other option is an amputation. So, I talked it over with him, and unfortunately I think that's what we have to go with. And I say unfortunately because it's sad, I'm going to amputate or get her leg amputated, but it's going to cause her a lot less pain. The recovery time is about 2 weeks, and then after that point, you know, she's already used to walking on 3 legs, so she'll be fine. Obviously, they'll have to do she'll be on morphine, a lot of high painkillers at the time and leading up to it, but once that's done, then it will be good. And so I asked, well, because she has kind of her bone here as if you were kind of from the hip down to the knee, and then it's like her knee, her fibula and tibia that is like what's cut off. So I asked if, you know, we could just do that front part. She could still have her femur, just take off the lower part. And he said, you know, we could, but in the past they used to do surgeries or amputations where they just did kind of the lower part, but he's like, in about 75% of those cases, further down the road, they had to have the dog come back and they had to amputate the rest of it because it was causing them pain. So, you know, realistically, she'd have to have it all off, which again, she wouldn't know any different. And then it would also give kind of the muscles in her, you know, her butt and stuff a chance to better form. And then also, as the doctor or the surgeon pointed out to me, comparing both of her hips, because, you know, when she was born, both hips were fine, but she never put any weight on that, like the hip where her stump is, so then it didn't really develop, or it didn't further develop. So now looking at it, instead of it's supposed to kind of have like from the hip and the joint, it's supposed to be like almost intersection, but with her it's pretty much a straight line because it never had to develop. So he's like, that is also going to be pose for problems in the future. She's going to have her whole leg amputated off. Well, I guess the stump, but yeah, the rest of it, we can't leave any part of it on. And going into it, I knew that, you know, she had the potential to have a lot more vet care than, you know, another puppy. So that's in a way why I wanted to rescue her, because I knew, like, yes, it's expensive, but I knew that I would do everything I can for her. Whereas, you know, you hear about other people that they give their pets up if they have something, or they bring them to the SPCA, or, you know, so I knew that that would not be me. I would give her the best care possible. So that's why I adopted her, and of course now we're going through a lot of this. So anyways, I just wanted to mention it so you guys know what is going on with Tripsy. She hasn't really been on a long walk for ages, which sucks for her, but I mean, she's in pain. But yeah, it's a lot better, and I'm actually so glad to see. There was times where I was crying because it was so sad that she was not moving, and I'm like, this is my 7-month-old puppy who can't move, is in so much pain when she does try to move, and you know, it was really sad. Yeah, I know that Tripsy's going to get better. It's just a waiting game. But I love her with all my heart. She is, you know, one of my 3 babies. And yeah, we're gonna do everything we can just to make her a happy puppy again, and just be full of playtime and full of love and energy and no pain. So that is our goal for the future. So she's gonna get her leg amputated, and then even like in the future, her spine, that'll all readjust. So basically after this amputation, she pretty much won't have any problems. So I am happy. Yeah, thanks for watching Tripsy's story, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.